Good morning, dear friends. I invite you to take a moment to pause and contemplate the boundless potential that lies within the next 24 hours. Today is not just another ordinary day. It is a canvas waiting to be painted with the vibrant colors of possibility, adventure, and serendipity. As you sit here, surrounded by the gentle hum of life unfolding around you, I want you to know that something truly extraordinary is on the horizon for each and every one of you. Imagine, if you will, that the universe has conspired to bring forth a series of events, encounters, and revelations that are tailor-made for your growth, fulfillment, and joy. Picture yourself walking through the day with a heightened sense of awareness, eagerly anticipating the magical moments that await you at every turn. Whether it's a chance encounter with a long-lost friend, an unexpected opportunity that propels you closer to your dreams, or a sudden insight that illuminates the path ahead, something extraordinary is poised to make its grand entrance into your life today. But here's the secret. You must be open to receiving it. You must approach the day with a sense of wonder, curiosity, and receptivity, ready to embrace whatever gifts the universe has in store for you. Set aside any doubts or limitations that may be holding you back, and instead, allow yourself to bask in the infinite possibilities that abound in every moment. As you journey through the day, I encourage you to pay attention to the subtle whispers of the universe, the synchronicities, the signs, and the nudges that gently guide you toward your highest good. Trust in the wisdom of the universe and know that everything that happens today is happening for you, not to you. So my friends, let us embark on this adventure together with open hearts and open minds. Let us greet the day with a sense of excitement and anticipation, knowing that something extraordinary is just around the corner. Get ready to welcome the magic into your life, for today is your day, and something truly remarkable is going to happen to you. You are extraordinary. You are unique. The odds of there being someone exactly like you are more than 50,000 million to 1. Every part of your body, according to anatomists, physiologists, and doctors, is different from anyone else who has ever lived. Your fingerprints are unique. Even your footprints and ear prints are different. You are unlike anyone else. Self-knowledge begins by accepting that you are a unique and special individual and that you have the ability to do something wonderful with your life. That said, you are also like everyone else in relation to certain basic principles. Throughout human history, the smartest men and women who have ever lived have sought answers to the question of the human dilemma. What can people do to change the quality of their lives, their relationships, and their results? Great philosophers, metaphysicians, and scholars have pondered this, sometimes for their entire lives. In this century, I know men and women who have spent 10, 20, 30, 40, and even 50 years studying success and achievement to discover rules and general principles that we can apply to be more successful. The first thing we must begin with in this whole course, the psychology of achievement, is that you are a mental being. The only thing that truly makes you unique is your mind. Everything else you share with a horse or a pig. Your mind is what makes you unique. Your body simply carries your mind around, just as electricity follows laws of electricity, physics follows laws of physics, and nature follows laws of nature. There are certain mental laws that determine everything that happens to you. These mental laws are as inexorable as the laws of gravity. They work 100% of the time. The first mental principle, and we will return to it again and again, is what we call the law of control. The law of control is very simple. It's a basic law, and we will return to it again and again. It simply says that you feel good about yourself, you feel positive about yourself, to the extent that you feel you are in control of your own life. Or you feel negative about yourself to the extent that you feel you are not in control of your own life. You just have to look at your life today and ask yourself in what parts of your life you feel better, in what parts of your life you feel more in control. You will find that those are the places where you are happiest. Since the ultimate human good is to achieve a state of happiness expressed in mental peace, health, love, and relationships, control is absolutely essential. Psychologists call this the difference between an internal locus of control, which is feeling that you are in charge of your own life, versus an external locus of control, which means feeling that something outside of you, whether it's your debts, your relationships, your work, or your health, in some way is controlling you. In fact, research into locus of control, and there are many tests you can take to determine where you are on this graph in terms of locus of control and in what areas of your life you feel more and less in control. People with a very high internal locus of control are high performance people. They are more successful, they are more self-determined, and they are happier. Many of the things we are trying to do in this course are to give you a much greater sense of control, of being in charge of every aspect of your life. Control begins with your thoughts. Interestingly, your thoughts, what you think about things and how you think, determine your values, determine what is happening inside you. Once stored, your thoughts determine your feelings. It's how you think about something that determines your feelings, whether you're happy or unhappy, scared or confident. Your feelings then determine your actions. We start with the law of control, saying that the key to success is feeling that you are the master of your own destiny, that you are behind the wheel of your own life, that you are in charge of your life by taking complete and total control over your thoughts. Your thoughts will control your feelings will control your actions, and your actions. Always remember, your actions will determine your success or your lack of success. The law of control is important. Now, in contrast to the law of control, we have what is called the law of chance. The law of chance is really a metaphysical principle. It's just a law, like a traffic law or like a legal law. To the extent that we consistently live in accordance with it, the law of chance is what about 80% of the population lives more or less. The law of chance simply states that by not planning, you are planning to fail. Not planning is planning to fail. Most people don't believe they live according to this, but if you look at their lives, you'll see that it's true. Not planning means planning for failure. These are the people who say, well, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's being in the right place at the right time. It's luck, it's the luck of the draw, and so on. These are individuals who, feeling that their lives are controlled by forces outside themselves, lack clear plans, lack clear goals, don't work persistently and steadily every day to achieve something they want, and their lives simply seem adrift and going in circles like a rudderless ship. A person, like a ship without a rudder, a person without a central plan, is a person who has very little control. A person who feels that they are indeed out of control of their life, as if they are falling through space without a place to stop. And these people are invariably unhappy. The reason people are negative today, the reason people are unhappy, the reason people are sick and frustrated, the reason people don't reach their full potential in life is that most of them live according to this law of chance. And by doing so, they don't have a clear sense of control over their lives. They don't have a sense of inner peace. They don't have a sense of happiness, and so on. We will show you how to free yourself from the personal law of chance permanently. Now, the next law is what is called the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect says that for every effect in your life, there is a specific cause. Everything that happens in the universe happens for a reason, that nothing happens by accident, that failure does not happen by accident, and success does not happen by accident, that happiness or lack of happiness is the result of cause and effect relationships. If we have an effect in your life that you want more of, whether it's more success, more money, more happiness, better health, you can trace it back to a cause. And what you do is repeat and duplicate that cause. If you have an effect in your life that you want less of, if you have problems or difficulties, you can also trace it back to a cause. All progress in human life and in human society comes from identifying the causes of what we want more or less of and changing those causes. We're going to show you how to free yourself from the personal law of chance permanently. Now, the next law is what is called the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect says that for every effect in your life, there is a specific cause. Everything that happens in the universe has a reason. Nothing happens by accident. Failure does not happen by accident, and success doesn't either. Happiness or lack of it is a result of causal relationships. If there is an effect in your life that you want more of, whether it's more success, more money, more happiness, or better health, you can trace it back to a cause and repeat and duplicate that cause. If there is an effect in your life that you want less of, if you have problems and difficulties, you can also trace it back to a cause. All progress in human life and in society comes from identifying the causes of what we want more or less of and changing those causes. The law of cause and effect is the iron law of the universe. It's a law that you'll come back to time and time again. And many of our laws are paraphrasing of the iron law, also called the law of sowing and reaping. What you sow, that you shall also reap. But the iron law, the law of cause and effect, gives us a complete sense of control. If we believe that there is a cause and effect relationship, that everything happens for a reason, then we have a tremendous feeling of control in our lives. We can identify the causes, duplicate them, and make our lives whatever we want. The most important application of the law of cause and effect is this: thoughts are causes and conditions are effects. Thoughts are simply causes and conditions are simply effects. The starting point of everything is your thoughts about something. It's your thoughts about a job, your thoughts about a relationship, your thoughts about your health, your thoughts about your future. Your thoughts become causative agents and conditions become effects. If you want to change any of the conditions in your life, you must change the thoughts that precede those conditions. You must change what is happening in your mind. Fortunately, there is only one thing in the entire universe over which you have complete control, and it is your thoughts. If you take total control of your thoughts and keep them focused on what you desire, making them positive causes, the conditions or effects will take care of themselves with the inexorability of a law of nature. The next law is what is called the law of belief. The law of belief simply says that whatever you believe with feeling, and this is the key, conviction, and the more emotion you put into a belief, it becomes your reality. It becomes your reality because you will always act consistently with your beliefs. In fact, your entire reality at this moment is simply an external reflection of your most intensely held beliefs. If you believe something positive or if you believe something negative, or as Henry Ford said, whether you think you can do something or you think you can't, you're right. Our beliefs shape our realities to the extent that we believe something to be true. Our beliefs act as a kind of filter, screening out any information that is inconsistent with our beliefs. We have a deep-seated desire inside of us to remain consistent. So we always try to see, rationalize, and interpret our world to be consistent with what we have already decided to believe. We develop what are called scotomas. A scotoma is a term in psychology that simply means we develop blind spots. We don't see opportunities and are convinced there are no opportunities. We don't see possibilities for success if we don't believe success is possible for us. However, if we start changing our beliefs, we start changing our realities. Let me give you an example. A few years ago, after conducting a variety of experiments, Dr. Rosenthal concluded that the expectations teachers had about students were having a tremendous effect on their ability to learn and their grade averages. He conducted a series of experiments, and one of them was very significant. At the beginning of the school year, he went to the San Francisco Bay Area, and the principal called in 3 teachers. These teachers were told that, due to their excellence in teaching, they had been singled out as the top 3 teachers in the school and would be assigned 30 students each from the brightest students in the school as identified by IQ tests. By the end of the last semester, they would be allowed to teach these students for the entire year. And it was estimated that, according to experts, these students would increase their academic performance by an average of 20 to 30% over the course of that school year. Now, the teachers were told that one of the conditions was that they should not tell the students and they should not tell their parents, but they should continue teaching in the same way. The classes were carefully monitored to ensure they taught in the same way as before, but only they would know that they had been assigned 30 bright students each to teach for the entire year. The teachers were delighted, excited, and worked hard with these students. They spent time after school with them and became much more involved in teaching than they had been before. At the end of the school year, surprisingly, these 3 classes not only led the school, but the entire school district in academic achievement. At the end of the year, the 3 teachers were called in, sat down, and were told, "You've had a good year," to which they responded affirmatively. They were told it was great that these children were so eager to learn. Then they were told maybe we should tell them the truth. They explained that this was an experiment, and at the beginning of the school year, they randomly selected the names of 90 children from the entire school population and assigned them to their classes. They didn't even know what their IQ was. The teachers were amazed and asked, how was it possible for them to do so well? They were told they were simply the top 3 teachers in the school. This story illustrates what is called a double-blind experiment. They kept everything constant except for the expectations. The expectations about the teachers were explicit. We believe they are excellent teachers. The stories we've just explored highlight the incredible power of expectations in shaping outcomes. whether it's in the classroom or in our personal lives. The teachers' implicit expectations of their students unleashed hidden potentials and led to remarkable transformations, demonstrating the immense influence that expectations can have on performance and achievement. But let's zoom out for a moment and consider the broader context of expectations in our lives. It's not just our teachers who hold expectations for us. Perhaps even more influential are the expectations instilled in us by our parents. From the moment we enter this world, our parents' hopes, dreams, and beliefs about us begin to shape our sense of self and our aspirations for the future. Research has shown that our parents' expectations, whether positive or negative, have a profound impact on our behavior and choices throughout our lives. If we were raised in an environment where we were nurtured, supported, and encouraged to reach for the stars, we are more likely to internalize those positive expectations and strive for greatness. Conversely, if we grew up in an environment filled with criticism, doubt, and low expectations, we may find ourselves held back by self-doubt and fear of failure. So, I urge you to reflect on your own upbringing and the expectations that were placed upon you by your parents. What were their hopes and dreams for you? Did they believe in your potential, or did they inadvertently sow seeds of doubt and limitation? And most importantly, how are those expectations influencing you today? As we continue our journey of exploration and discovery, remember that awareness is the first step towards empowerment. By understanding the role that expectations play in our lives, we can begin to challenge and reshape those beliefs that no longer serve us, and pave the way for a future filled with limitless possibilities. Well, this brings us to the critical role of expectations in your life. The first part of expectations in your life, number one, and where expectations affect you, is in your parents' expectations. We have found that we tend as adults to try to fulfill or fail our parents' expectations throughout our lives. If our parents were strong, supportive, loving, kind, encouraging, and believed in us throughout our lives, we will unconsciously strive to live a life consistent with those expectations. If our parents were critical, condemning, and complained about our grades and so on, we will find that throughout our lives we tend to hold back. So be aware of that. What were your parents' expectations? Were they positive or negative? Did they drive you or discourage you? And how much are they affecting you today? The second area of expectations is your boss's expectations. In all of our studies, especially in studies on excellence in organizations, we have found that bosses with high expectations have high-performance work environments. Now, if you work for a boss who is negative, critical, and condemning, if you work for a boss who has negative expectations or a negative attitude, your performance is likely to be very low. In fact, if you look at the course of your work career, you will find that the times in your life that you have enjoyed the most are working under a boss who had high positive expectations of you and your ability. Isn't that right? The third area of expectations is the expectations you have of others, especially your children, your spouse or partner, especially your subordinates or the people who look up to you. We are deeply affected by the opinions of anyone we respect and the attitudes towards us of anyone we respect. And if you have high positive expectations of the people around you, especially your children, they will rise to meet those expectations. So the basic rule regarding this is to always expect good things from others. In word and deed, continually tell them, I believe in you. And the fourth area of expectations is the expectations you have of yourself. Ultimately, these are the most powerful. If you have high positive expectations of yourself, you will be amazed at what it will mean for your life. Always expect the best. Always expect the best. And here's a little exercise I learned from one of my graduates at one of our seminars. In life, he found that starting each day with this simple exercise and telling himself, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. This little exercise completely changed his attitude. He spent the whole day with the attitude of someone with a confident expectation. Everything that happened during the day, he thought, maybe this is something wonderful that is going to happen to me. And you know that if you do this, if you say before going to sleep, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me tomorrow. And if you say when you wake up in the morning, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today. And if throughout the day you say, I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me, you will find that when you go to sleep the next night and try this, today's a very powerful exercise. It sounds a bit cheesy, but it's a very powerful exercise. If you try it, you will find that you won't be able to think of all the wonderful things that have happened to you. You will simply be amazed that your parking spaces will open up, your friends will call you, and you will receive checks in the mail. Your life will be a series of positive and happy experiences, so always expect the best. I believe something wonderful is going to happen to me today, and by the inexorability of a law of nature, I can assure you that it will happen. It has happened to thousands and thousands and thousands of our graduates who will literally amaze you with the effect of this little cheesy exercise. The last law we will talk about in this session is called the law of correspondence. The law of correspondence says, and is quoted by J.S., "As is within, so is without. As is within, so is without." And what it simply means is that your outer world is a mirror, and that's probably the best word. Your outer world is a mirror, and it simply reflects what is happening in your inner world. Your outer world is the result of your inner world. What is happening inside determines what is happening outside. If you want to change your outer world, you have to change your inner world. That means you can look at your words, you can look at your level of health. What's happening in terms of your physical health is largely determined by what's happening in your mind. What's happening in your relationships is the most perfect example, because you find that when you feel good inside, your relationships are fluid. When you feel negative or stressed inside, your relationships go wrong. Your relationships are a reflection of the image in the mirror of the quality of your own personality. You can tell how healthy your personality is by looking at the relationships. If you change your inner life, you change life. And as the day draws to a close, take a moment to reflect on the magic that has unfolded before your very eyes. Perhaps you encountered a stranger who offered a word of wisdom that resonated deep within your soul. Maybe you stumbled upon an opportunity that seemed tailor-made for your aspirations and dreams. Or it could be that you experienced a moment of pure joy and connection that reminded you of the beauty and wonder that surrounds us every day. Whatever form it took, I hope you embrace the extraordinary with open arms and an open heart. For today was not just another day. It was a day filled with miracles, synchronicities, and blessings in disguise. And as you drift off to sleep tonight, know that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, orchestrating moments of magic and wonder that are uniquely yours. So my friends, carry the spirit of today with you into tomorrow and beyond. Approach each day with a sense of wonder and possibility, knowing that something extraordinary is always just around the corner. And remember, you are the architect of your own destiny, capable of creating miracles in every moment. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery and delight. May the magic of today continue to unfold in your life, guiding you ever closer to your dreams and desires. Until we meet again, may you always expect the extraordinary, for it is waiting for you just beyond the horizon.